Welcome to Discovering. It's strawberry picking time. I'm at the Pellegrini farm in Vulcan, where farming has been a tradition for generations.
One of the high points of the business is the people you meet throughout the years. You see the same faces, a lot of new faces, of course.
Sit back and relax. That's all tonight, right here on Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
It's always great to see businesses that carry on through generations of family. One of the most predominant is farming.
My grandpa started this farm 45 to 50 years ago, and Pellegrini means pilgrim, and we pilgrimaged from Italy over here, and my grandpa's great ancestors planted farms, owned a lot of farms around here, and this is what it evolved into, a strawberry farm that my grandpa built.
I spent some time with the Pellegrini family in Vulcan, where they grow strawberries and a lot more.
Well, we started out, I think it was around 1970, and my cousin, Don Pellegrini, he helped me a lot of starting out, because he'd been in the business a long time, and we've been going since that, and every year about the same acreage, and this year we had, like everybody knows, so much rain there. The strawberry don't like that much rain, but they're looking pretty good. So pretty good crop.
Well, I've been helping my father with a farm for all my life. He started in the late '60s. Of course, David and Donald Pellegrini and their family have the strawberry farm in Hyde. We received a lot of help from them over the years.
My dad started. There used to be the Norway can factory, and he used to plant green and wax beans there, and cabbage for many years. They've been going there, and it goes back, I don't know, in the 1930s there, when they had the horses yet, and the Model T, Model A's. Then I took over, I think it was in 1965. We kept going with the cabbage and the beans, and then like in 67, 68, 70, we started out in the strawberry business with the help of my cousin Don there. We've been going ever since there. The can factory went out of business, I think it was in late 70s or something like that. And that used to be a good sideline for many farmers, extra income there. From that point on, we've been selling cabbage and sugar beet to the deer hunters, and we keep going by doing that. So.
One of the high points of the business is the people you meet throughout the years. You see the same faces, a lot of new faces, of course. As you go, it feels like family. August comes, the fields close, and the farm feels really lonely without the people. That's why we look forward to the cabbage season, the hunters coming in. But again, once you've got that quiet, that silence, and without the hustle and bustle, a very different atmosphere here. So every year we look forward to, right around the 4th of July, we open up, and again, it's like our family comes back to us.
My mom and dad own this Pellegrini blueberry and raspberry farm. The blueberries are actually kind of getting a little bit of attacked by, they're called rose chafers. And we go out there, we spray, and then we kind of like pluck them off the leaves. They're really numerous, but the raspberries, they died a few years ago, but then they came up and they're starting to really bush out and become numerous again.
We bought an adjacent property, the old Degner family farm, so that works well right alongside my father's farm. We're able to help him out, and we actually irrigate from his water source. We do have the blueberries. For a couple of years we did the corn maze. As far as working as a family, having the property butting up to one another helps greatly. We've got a lot of high school kids that come and work for us, and again, you get to see them throughout the years as they grow older and get families, they come back. Again, that family atmosphere, the kids have a great time. What a blessing they are. Without the high school age kids that come and work, I don't know what we'd do. That's a huge part of our business. I don't think that can be overstated. This year was very unique in the fact that we did not irrigate for frost. I think that's happened one other time in the history of this farm, and we fired the pumps up once to test them. Another great blessing that we've had the moisture we've had. But a lot of unique characteristics about this year. It's just the weather's different, and it presents challenges as we go forward.
Been a good spring for the water. We didn't have to irrigate at all, and now we're getting nice sunny weather. Supposed to get 80 degrees, so looking good. We got the kids picking. We started about a day or two ago. We're going strong now. In about 3-4 days, we'll be at the peak.
It varies day to day. Some days pickers can't come, and some days too many come, and some of us have to go do other jobs like picking cabbage or picking weeds.
We're looking at about a 3-4 week window here, with the weather playing a large role in that. The pre-picked, generally we're looking for about 3 weeks out of that. Then once the berries start over-ripening, we stop picking pre-picked at that point.
My job is to pick strawberries for people that don't have time or are unable to pick strawberries by themselves. So I pick pre-orders around from 7:30 to 8, and then we go to 12. And I usually average from 5 to 10 flats a day, and I make 40 cents a pound. So you just kind of brush through quickly, and you see a ripe berry, just kind of pinch the stem a little bit so you don't pull out any others or the plant. I've done that before, and it really doesn't work out too well for the rest of the season. You just kind of pinch them. Like this, you want to let this go. That'll get a lot riper, so just kind of leave that. This one too. Then you rake through and you find another one. This one's okay. They do ripen a little bit in the box. And you rake through more. This one's rotten. It's got a rotten spot, so I just throw them out of the patch so they don't rotten more berries. This one over ripened, and it's got sun bleached, so I'll just toss that out. And when they're in the dirt, you just kind of want to brush them off. It helps the customers out, and you keep on raking through and getting each strawberry. Yeah, we have a little bit of a deer problem. Either they'll step on it and they take a little nibble out of them, and then then it's over. You can't really put those in their box. They're a mess in here. They'll step right on the plants. They have fawns in the rye up there, so can't get them to get away from their little fawns. So they stay in here, and then they'll come down here for a snack. They take a lot of the berries too. Yeah, a little bit of bug holes there. It's the bugs like them. Birds too. A lot of the blackbirds are laying their babies in the nests, and they just kind of like move the straw over. Yeah, that's fun seeing them. They kind of eat the bugs that eat the plants, but sometimes they'll nib at them. We just started 2 days ago. We started in the evening. Pretty good weather. God's given us good weather, so good growing, good ripening weather. And perfect rain. It's a perfect cycle. Picking goes on from 3 to 4 weeks. It's really good right now. I like the second week due to the sunny weather comes out and a little bit of rain, but they really ripen in the second week. The third week's a little rough going. Not as many strawberries, but still something. The strawberries in this section are decent right now. We put the people in the better spots so they can pick out the better berries. Actually, it looks like one field, but these are two fields right here. We planted, this is the older one, we'll disc that under. And way over there, we planted in late May, early June. So next year we'll pick out of them. And back there, then we planted that 3 years ago. And those two right there were 2 and 1 years ago. We were getting good rain at the early June, and that really helped them boost their energy to making bigger bushes. My grandpa knows perfectly when to plant them and when's the good time to put the cycle in.
Yeah, this is the field we planted, I think it was early May, about the first week in May. And every year we plant about 3 acres, and we plow 3 acres down. And we also put rye in and sorghum. We try to wait about 4 years in between the crop there and the strawberries there. And that worked out good on the 4-year rotation there. The first year we go through, the kids pick all the blossoms out. Otherwise, if you leave the blossoms out, you lose so much yield every year. So they go through maybe once a week, pick all the blossoms out, and weed, of course.
We pick the blossoms, focusing their energy to making bigger bushes. And then the second year, we start picking, and third year, and probably the fourth year, depending on the previous years and how they've produced. But then from the 4th to 5th year, we disc them down. Plant other stuff in the field like rye or sugar beets or cabbage as a seed bed. They only last 4 to 5 years, and then we put them in other fields.
This field will be ready to go next year, and we get 3 berry ears out of it. And then we plow it down, and like I say, every year we put 3 new acres in of berries. And it's a lot of handwork, and we're lucky to have good neighbors, good kids there to work, and we're grateful for that.
The cabbage, we're about halfway done. We've been planting the fields. We plant them early June, we let them grow, and then we pick them and transplant them and plant them into bigger fields with the planter.
We planted the seed bed of cabbage here, I think around the 1st of May. And now we're about in the middle of transplanting. And the plants are just right, beautiful. And the kids come in here, they pick the plant, and we get about 2 pickup loads, and then we go and plant for about 4 hours with the transplanter. And it's a timely operation there, but they look beautiful so far. But it takes about 2 weeks to transplant. It's about 1/4 of an acre we put in by hand. Yeah, this is our cabbage field. We started, maybe about 4 or 5 days ago. We've been putting the cabbage in between the rain showers, and it's ideal weather for planting cabbage. We must have around 5-6 acres in so far. We're about halfway. It's looking good. Over here behind me, you'll see the rye field. We combine it, and then we use the straw to cover the berries in the fall. Probably the last week in April, we put the straw from the roads, in between the roads, for the people can kneel on. It's nice and clean. We use it both ways there. So, yeah, we planted the sugar beets. I think it was around the second week in May. This is how high they come so far. First we plant the rye, and we plow that down. Then we put the sorghum in. That year we plow that down. And then in the fall we put rye again. And then the next spring we come in and we plant the sugar beets. After we harvest them, if we got a pretty good fall, we put rye in again. And then the next spring we plow that rye down and we put cabbage in. And we try to go on a 3-year rotation there. After the cabbage there, we put rye and sorghum in again. And sometimes the red clover, and plow that down. And that makes a good green manure. We harvest them, probably be starting around the end of September. We start selling them for the deer. We got about close to 80 acres of sugar beets. The deer will have lots to eat there. They'll be happy. On the farm here, I got 180 acres, and I got it all fenced in. We get a few that come through the gate. They have a feast. But down by the river, we don't have any fence or anything, and we have a lot of trouble with the deer coming in. they got their choice of cabbage, sugar beet down there, and alfalfa and corn. So they got quite a smorgasbord.
Primarily, it's for the tradition. You get up and that's what you do. Really, we don't know anything else. I think my dad said he started driving tractor at the age of 5. His father brought him out there, showed him what to do. He started driving the tractor out, and you know, he's 70 years old this year. He's never gotten off a tractor. He's done it all his life, so it becomes a part of you. So as it has with most of our family, is stuck in farming. A lot of us, myself included, I have an outside job off the farm, but it can never seem to break free, nor do I want to. So it's a very rich life. It's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of nights where you know, you go to bed and there's someone on the farm still working. You know, we'll be putting the children to bed, and out in the field there's lights from the tractor, so he's still going. Some nights you're going till midnight, 1 a.m., and you know, he'll be up again at 4:30, 5 a.m. So, but the payoff, again, the family atmosphere here, the customers, the people, the community that you get in touch with, that's something that we don't want to see an end come to.
Well, I used to drive school bus, and then we had them over the road buses, and I always came back to farming. We always had it, and I guess my heart was always in a love for farming, so I really like it, and try to keep going as long as I can. And my son can take over, and my grandson there, they do a good job.
Here's some lessons on plants we find in our UP woods.
Spring ephemeral flowers, or spring ephemerals, are called that because they pretty much pop up first thing in the spring. You know, they get up there first thing, usually from bulbs. They photosynthesize, they put out flowers, and then they are gone by summer. This is bloodroot. Bloodroot is really common in mesic woods like this. It tends to pop up about this time of year, and when the leaves first come up, they're usually kind of curled. So if you see leaves like that are kind of curled around the stem, that's probably bloodroot. When it does flower, you get a very pretty little white flower with 6 or 7 petals and a yellow center. Now, another really common native that we have here, and it's everywhere, is the trout lily. The leaves are really distinctive because they tend to have kind of a mottled look. And I've heard 2 stories for why it's called trout lily. One is that it tends to usually bloom about the beginning of trout season. But the other thing is that people call it trout lily because those little spots on the back look like the back of a brook trout. Anyway, you'll see a lot of those in the spring woods too. So those are the things we're trying to protect here. This is native Pennsylvania sedge. And if you go through the woods and you see what looks like little tufts of grass, that's Pennsylvania sedge, and it's a great ground cover, and it provides excellent shelter for small mammals, and it's really kind of nice as a soil stabilizer. So a lot of places where you see something like this, where there's probably been some water collected, you'll see that stuff popping up, and it'll kind of spread by a stolon and pop up another little tuft somewhere along the line. If you guys are familiar with the yellow mustard that grows in farm fields, that is a mustard. It is kind of an invader, it's not native, it can be very aggressive, but it's actually not as bad as garlic mustard. Garlic mustard actually exudes a chemical in its roots, which is allelopathic. And allelopathic basically means it inhibits the growth of everything around it. So not only does garlic mustard put out a lot of seeds and stay green all winter so it can photosynthesize the second the snow goes away, but it also kind of inhibits the growth of seeds and plants around it, which is a problem when you look at how much it inhibits the growth of young tree seedlings. It actually will inhibit the growth of young maples, so given enough time and enough infestation, it'll prevent the forest from regenerating in the normal succession. But garlic mustard puts out up to 3,000 seeds per plant, and they're very small. I mean, they're about the size of poppy seeds. So if they happen to be in any mud, in people's shoes, in people's ATV tires or anything like that, they can travel very easily. If you happen to be walking through the woods in springtime and you smell garlic or onion, it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be the native wild leek. If you look around and there's no leeks, it's probably garlic mustard. So please search very carefully and look for these little guys. If you're not sure whether you're looking at garlic mustard, just remember that in the spring woods, there's not a lot of things that bloom white. So you're probably going to see trilliums, which you guys could probably tell from everything else, or you're going to see garlic mustard. So if you see white flowers, stop, look, and see if it smells like garlic. Forget-me-nots are not quite as bad as garlic mustard in that they don't really have that allelopathic effect, but they really are aggressive. We have a couple photos along the road to Miner's Castle where the entire forest floor under some of the canopy is just blue with forget-me-nots. So they really do choke out other things, and they really do, impede the growth of native plants. And people are so familiar with it, they don't realize it can be a problem.
Here's a look at some of the things going on this coming weekend. On July 15th and 16th, it's off-road racing action at the Bark River International Raceway. Get tickets, campsites, and all the details at barkriveroffroad.com. On Sunday, July 16th, it's the Michigan Outdoors Kayak Fishing Tournament. The tournament runs from 7 a.m. till noon on Sunset Lake in the Iron River area. Cookout, door prizes, and cash prizes for largest fish. The event is sponsored by Northwoods Wilderness Outfitters and Iron County Community Broadcasting. For registration and more, call 774-9009. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources reminds hunters that the fall turkey hunting application period opens Saturday, July 1st. Applications will be available through August 1st. The application fee is $5. Applications and license may be purchased at any authorized license agent or online at mdnr-elicense.com. The 2017 fall turkey season runs September 15th to November 14th. A total of 51,350 licenses are available, including 4,650 general licenses and 46,700 private land licenses. Information about fall turkey hunting can be found at michigan.gov/turkey. Well, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week right here on Discovering.